Emma Caldwell had always spoken like Texas, warm, unhurried, and unafraid of taking up space. Her voice carried the long vowels of Dallas summers, the soft lilt of Sunday potlucks, and the casual y'all that slipped out like breathing. At 27, she still sounded like the girl who grew up riding horses on her grandparents' ranch outside the city, the same girl whose father had once run for governor and whose mother taught third grade with the same steady patience she offered her own students. When the call came from Morning Light, the biggest national morning show in the country, Emma almost dropped her phone. They wanted her as a correspondent. A dream.
A door.
A trap. She flew to New York in late autumn, suitcase full of blazers and boots, heart full of hope. The first week was a blur of studio lights, teleprompters, and people who moved faster than anyone back home. On her third day, she sat across from executive producer Diane Harlow in a glass-walled office overlooking the Hudson. "You've got star quality, Emma," Diane said, smiling the kind of smile that didn't reach her eyes. "But we need to polish a few things. The accent. It's charming on local, but nationally, it reads as provincial. Especially the y'alls. We need general American.
Clean.
Neutral. Trustworthy." Emma blinked. "You want me to stop sounding like me? We want you to sound like someone millions of people can relate to," Diane corrected smoothly. "This isn't personal. It's television." That night, Emma stood in her tiny furnished apartment in Hell's Kitchen and practiced in front of the mirror. "You all."
You. All.
The words felt foreign on her tongue, like wearing someone else's skin. She called her mother back in Dallas. "They want me to talk like a robot, Mama." Her mother laughed softly. "Baby, you've got Bush blood in you whether you like it or not. That family never changed their voices for nobody. You decide who you want to be." But deciding was harder when your dream paycheck and national platform were on the line. For the first 6 months, Emma tried. She flattened her vowels. She replaced fixin' to with about to. She caught herself mid-sentence and corrected in real time on air, cheeks burning. Viewers wrote in. Some loved the realness. Most of the feedback the producers showed her praised her poise and intelligence. But the notes from upstairs never stopped. Less Texas. More anchor. Her co-hosts noticed. Marcus Reed, the morning news anchor from South Carolina, pulled her aside during a commercial break one morning. Marcus had a smooth, deep voice that still carried faint low-country warmth if you listened closely. "They tried to sand me down too," he said quietly, adjusting his tie. "Told me I sounded too regional when I first started. I practiced for months. Almost lost my grandmother's voice in my head. Don't let them take everything, Emma." She looked at him gratefully. Marcus was 42, respected, and still said, "Bless your heart," off camera with full sincerity. Then there was Alonzo Al Ramirez, the veteran weatherman who'd been with the show for 23 years. Born and raised in Queens, New York, Al had once spoken with the unmistakable cadence of the outer boroughs, fast, nasal, full of dropped R's and attitude. Now he sounded polished, almost generic, except when he got excited about a nor'easter. One margarita and some queso, and it all comes back, huh? Al joked during a segment meeting, winking at Emma. She laughed. It was the first time she'd felt seen in weeks. The breaking point came during a live segment on regional identity in America. The producers had planned a light feature on the resurgence of local accents in media, reporters going viral for leaning into their roots. Emma was supposed to introduce it neutrally. Instead, something inside her snapped. Mid-segment, after Marcus playfully teased, "You've still got a pretty pronounced accent there, Caldwell." Emma leaned into the camera with a slow smile. "Well, somebody told me early on to get rid of the y'alls," she said, letting her Texas drawl roll out fully for the first time in months. "Somebody who works here." And I said, "No, thank you." The studio went quiet for half a second. Then the crew chuckled. Marcus grinned wide. Al leaned back in his chair, eyes twinkling with recognition. Savannah Brooks, the lead host from Arizona, jumped in supportively. Clearly you did not listen. And now we all say y'all. Where did that even come from? The segment took on a life of its own. They shared stories. Marcus admitted the pressure he'd faced coming from Charleston. Al confessed that broadcasting school had beaten the queens out of him so thoroughly that he sometimes couldn't summon it even when he tried. For those of us of a certain age, Al said, they wanted General American. Clean slate. I lost it. Get me over to St. Albans right now, and I might find it again. The clip exploded online. Hashtag Let Them Yell trended for 3 days. Clips of Emma's disgusted face when she imitated the executive went viral. Southerners, Midwesterners, New Yorkers, people from everywhere flooded the comments. Finally, someone real on morning TV. Maya Buella says the same thing about losing her accent for work. This is why I stopped watching national news. They all sound the same. The morning after the segment, Diane called Emma into her office again. This time, the smile was tighter. Numbers are through the roof, Diane said. But we need to be careful. You're becoming a symbol now. The relatable Southern girl. Don't lean in too hard. We still have brand standards. Emma sat straighter. With respect, Diane, the brand is changing. People are tired of the same voice. They want to hear where people are from. They want authenticity. Diane studied her for a long moment. Careful, Emma. This